Yeah, let me share my screen. I'll start. I'll open this SSMS here. Let this SSMS get opened. Right. Let me connect to the server here. Login. Provide the password. Then encryption. Enable this. Check this in checkbox. Enable this trust server certificate. Click on connect. Okay. Right. Go to this databases here. Now select this database. So you might have created your own database. Select the database and click on this new query here. Right. So what we'll talk today. Okay. We have seen creating a table, inserting data, selecting data, updating data, deleting data, truncating data, drop table. These all we have seen. So the next thing is we'll see about constraints. Constraint. Okay. Constraint. So what do you mean by constraint here? So you are going to define rules on the column of a table. What do you mean by that? Okay, right. So we have different constraints. So we'll talk on that. So different types of constraints. Okay, different types of constraint. One is not null constraint. Okay, one is other one is unique constraint, default constraint. Okay, then we have primary key constraint and foreign key constraint, default, unique, none, default, not null, unique. I think one more constraint also. Let me recollect. Okay, I'll tell you. So these constraints are nothing but you are going to define not null, unique, primary. Okay, let's see. So the constraint is nothing but you are defining a rule on the column of a table. Means what is that you want to do it. So let's go and create some small table, then we'll come back. Right. So we'll go here. I'll create a small table. Create table some emp underscore 07022025 is a table that I'm creating here. So I'll create ID, int, name, some 30 characters, then sal, decimal. So you'll have 18 comma 2, 18 comma 2 here. Then we have department number int here. Okay. So I'm trying to create. So when I create, what happens that you are defining what is that you are defining? So you are creating a table and you are defining a schema here. So what is that? You are creating a table with this name, and for that table you are defining schema. What do you mean by schema? Schema is nothing but here you are defining table name and defining schema. What is that? You are giving column names and data types here. That is called schema. Okay, right. Now I've just blindly creating with these four columns. What happens? It creates table here, right? Let's go and create a table here. I've created. Now let's go to the database where I'm trying to create. Go to these tables. So I've created this, right? So click on this place button, click on these columns here, you will have this right now. So if you see here, right now, take this right now. So what is this happening now? What is this? You have column name, right? Beside that, you have got data type and you have got null value. Here also name, varchar data type, null value. That is not, it's not null value, it is kept as null. Year salary, decimal 18 comma 3 something, null value, null. Department in null. What does that mean null there? So it means that in these columns, you can supply, you can provide null values also into that column names where you got ID, name, department number, that columns are present in that table. You can go and provide null values also. But when you are creating employee information, employee should definitely have some ID, and employee should definitely have the name, about salary. Later they might update. They later after joining they might give department number. But first, that person should have some ID, right? Unique ID, and name should also, the person, each and every person will have some ID name with identification. But here it is saying that ID in bracket int comma null, name varchar 30 comma null. That means that similarly for sal also you have decimal 18 comma 3, department int comma null. So similar, these columns are allowing to take null values also, right? But this is wrong. So you see here, I'll just go. Now I created this table. Insert into, right? EMP underscore 07022025 values, right? I'll give one. I'll provide null value. I'm here for ID, I have provided one, then null value. Here I'm giving 1000, 10 year. Similarly, insert EMP 0720. Okay. Here I'm providing null. I'll give name one, then 2020 department. Right? Here I'll go 3, right? Here I'll go 2 year name 2. Here I'm giving null value. Here I'll go 4. Here I'll go with name 3, 3000. Here I'm giving null value. So in the first statement I given name as null. In the second insert statement, ID null. In the third insert statement, salary null. In fourth insert statement, department is null, right? So if I run this, it will definitely, so let me insert. you see the row 1, row 2, row 1, row 1, row 1, row 1 affected. 4 rows we have inserted, it has shown. Now go and select this table, select this table here, EMP 07022025. Now try to execute this. What has happened? Here it has, in this record, this name has got null. In this record, ID has got null. In this record, salary has got null. In this record, department has got null, right? Null value. Right now? Absolutely, it has got null value. But name can be null, it should not be null. ID can be null, it should not be null. Can salary be null? Yes. Then department, yes, that is okay. But these two are mandatory, which we should not allow user to enter null value. Here, you see here, there's a two difference here. So if you provide this, if you give a value like this as a null, it will take null. But if you provide like single quotes, it's not null. This is a string. This is empty string, empty string, but this is null value. Remember, there is a difference between null and empty string. I have given in the name. So if you see here, this is a name. I have given null. So this is, if at all I give like this in single quotes, it's empty string. That is, empty string is also treated as a value. It's not as null. So that there is a little difference between null and empty string. Not little, much difference. Okay. But here, if you see here, if I execute this statement, we should not allow user to enter a null value in ID or name. You should not allow. That is how you need to create the constraint. Okay, right. Let's see now. So here, right. So someone has pinged that there is other constraint. So I was telling we have missed. Someone has pinged that as check constraint. Yes, that is right. So not null. What does this do? Not null. It will not allow you to provide null values in case of not null. Here, it will not allow duplicate values. It will not allow duplicate values. Okay, unique constraint. Default, you define a default value to the column of a table. Check constraint, while so you define some value here. So what happens when you provide some value? What is that? Like salary should be greater than 5,000. You define you define some value on the column of a table for that salary column. That salary should be greater than. And if you provide less than 5,000, then less than 5 or equal to 5, then it will not allow. Okay, it will not allow. Okay, right. What about this primary constraint? This primary constraint and foreign constraint here you have these two. These two, the for primary and foreign, these two are used for creating tables, creating a relationship between two tables.
రోజు చెప్తాను నేను అలాగే ఇబ్బంది పెడుతున్నాను నేను ఏం చూసుకుంటూ మామూలుగా చూసుకుంటాను కదా చూసి పక్కోడు
Okay, so this primary key and foreign key, right? These two are used to create relation between the tables. So let's start doing this four now, step by step. We'll see primary key and foreign key tomorrow. Let's do that. Okay, right. Let's go. How do you implement these constraints? So right, let me go. How do you define the constraint? So you can you can define constraint at column level. So while creating a table, or if this, so you already created table. So this first thing is you can define a constraint, a column of a table while creating a table. That is one. No, no, my table is already created. So when the table has got created, we have not defined the not we have not defined the constraint. So the someone has created that table and the constraint is not defined. Now the team, now after discussing with that customer, he told these changes as, so we need to go to that column and we should not allow, we should define some constraint on the column. So what you need to do is you need to alter, nothing but you need to repair the table. Then you need to go and add that constraint. Two things. Either you define a constraint while creating it, then your problem would solve whole life. But here the problem is someone has created a table that was all fine till some time, but later you have found out that it is creating some issue, and customer, you are discussed with the customer, and customer, now you wanted to create a constraint. You can't go and drop the table, right? If you go and drop the table, what happens? Your whole data will be lost. So what you need to do, you need to repair the table. So what you need to do is you need to alter. We have something called alter statement. Okay, alter statement. We'll talk this. So why alter is used, we'll talk on that later. Let's go and do the creating a constraint. Okay, right. So I'll just go here. So how do you define? So create table, table name, bracket, column 1, data type 1, constraint, right? Constraint is a key. Now constraint name, you should give some name to that, and type of constraint here, type of constraint, column, data type, constraint, name of the constraint, and type. What is type? So we told six types, right? You should tell that type. What is the type? Is it the not null? Is it the unique? Is it the primary constraint or unique constraint or check constraint? Okay, like this. So you can have multiple constraints also on single table. Data type, right? Take this. You can have like this multiple constraints also on single table. Okay, na? So you can define the constraint here. After that, for what columns you don't want constraint, you can define that those columns at the end, right? So column name, data type of that column, constraint, keyword, name of the constraint, and type of the constraint here. Okay, right. Now let's go create table employee underscore not null. I'm just giving to make to easily identify. I'm just giving that. No one will use that. No one is going to use that as EMP underscore not null as a table name, right? To make it clear that I've created a not null constraint on that, I'm creating as EMP underscore not null. Right. Now let's go there. So ID in data type constraint, okay, EMP underscore ID underscore not null. So I'm giving EMP table. Here you see this is a table name and column, and what type of constraint is that? Not null. So I'll just go here, tell not null. Okay, right. Now name varchar 30 year, sorry, constraint EMP underscore name underscore not null. Okay, sal 18 comma 2 department member India. Okay, now let's go and run this table. So I'm creating it. So the way, so this is a column name, data type, constraint, right? Constraint, name of the constraint, and this is a type of constraint, right? Now let me execute this. It has got table has got created, no? Right? So let's go there. So here previously it was showing null, right? Now let me go to the table. Let me refresh this table here, tables folder. So this was not null. Click on this, go here. Now did you see here? ID is ID bracket int command not null. Name varchar 30 not null. Sal decimal 18 comma 2 null. Right? So we have defined not null, so it is taking. So by default, there is not null defined. There is not null defined on a table. There is nothing like that. We need to go and create a constraint. Okay. Right. Chalo. Now let's go insert into EMP underscore values. So I'll just go one, name 1010. This is all okay. You are providing value. There is no problem. Now I'll just go insert into, I'll just take this statement. Okay. Now I'll try to insert a null value in this, right? Here I'll change as name to 2020 department. Here I'm giving 3. Now I'll in the place of name, I'll give null year, right? 3000, then 30, right? Na? Right? So will this work? I'll execute one by one after other. Okay. Now I'll just go execute first statement. This is perfect fine because we have given all the values. Now I'll go to the second. I'm selecting only that particular statement. I'm not running all. If I run all, na, so this create table statement will also execute. Then it says that it will scold you that this table is already present. So I'm just selecting that particular statement and trying to insert. Now try to execute here. Now you see cannot insert null value into the column ID, then table name, right? So you've got database, schema name, and table name, right? So you can see here, can't insert, right? Absolutely. So it has thrown. Now go to the third statement. Let's go there. So you see cannot insert null value, right? No? Column doesn't allow null values. Insert fail, right? It has got fail now. So your problem solved. No? So you're defining some rule, right? So your problem solved. Now, so We have created, that is all okay. But I want, so later point of time I want to drop this constraint. How I need to do it? Now you have created, but I want to delete this statement, this constraint. Okay, we'll talk on that. Right, we'll talk in alter statement. I thought I forgot that I should have told in yesterday only, but I forgot. Right, we'll talk on that tomorrow. How to, what does alter statement do? We'll talk on that. But these all, so we are creating these tables, right? We have created these tables. We have created this constraint here. We have created this constraint also. Where does this store? So tables. So you see here, table store in this table folder, right? In this table. But where does this constraint store here? Okay, let's go. Let me go to the other window here. Okay. So we have got something called system tables here. We have system tables. Okay, let's go. So how do you identify those are system tables or system objects? Leave about, so system table or system objects. So when we have table system tables, you have system stored procedures, stored procedures, okay, views also, functions also. You will have many more like this. System one. But how do you identify that system table or system stored procedure or system view or functions? How does they come into your SQL server? So these system related objects. So whatever you create is an object in SQL Server, that I told in from the beginning. So whatever you create in SQL is system, but these system related objects are by default available by software. Means because you have you have installed the SQL Server, right? So through that those are available. If you go here, go to this object, let's go here. You have here you see system tables. Click on this, but how do you identify that system? So system table or object. So it it will start with sys dot. It will definitely start with sys dot. Go to this tables here, system tables. So there is no system table. Let's go. You will have that also. I'll show you. Go to programmability, go to store poses here. So system stored pose, click on this. So you see sys dot sp underscore add underscore agent parameter, right? Similarly, go to the functions. Here you got system functions, right? So these are systems one, right? Right. Now let's go here. I'll do select start from. So you see tables here. Now execute here. So you see these tables we created, right? I've created this customer info some other day. I've created employee info, employee underscore new, employee underscore 07022025 that I've created just now. Employee underscore. Yeah. So each object has got object ID, right? Now, yes, absolutely. And you see your type is user table, right? And here type is user, type is you, and type type description is user table, right? Now, so you can see here, you can see durability, non-temporary table, it's permanent table, right? So this all you have, right? Na? Absolutely. And each object has got some ID here, right? Na? Yes. Now similarly, select start from sys dot constraint. Yeah, default constraint edge T constraint. I think there is no not null constraint here. We don't have not null constraint. Okay, if we go system constraints, let me execute this. There is no not null constraint. I thought of saying you, but we have something called default. You see the default constraint. Okay, we'll figure out. Right. So you know how to create a constraint. We have worked on that. Now let's go and work on check constraint. Okay. So I'll take the same table, right? I'll create here. I'll put here check constraint. Okay. Right. I'll have same. Here what I'll do, constraint. What is the name of the constraint? emp underscore sal underscore check sal, right? So here in the bracket, I want salary should be greater than 5,000. Salary should be, this is type, yeah, type, and in the bracket check, right? So this is constraint. This is the name of the constraint. Type is check, and salary should be greater than 5,000. Now try to execute here. So you can go here, try to go to these tables, refresh these tables here, right? Check constraint, click on this, right now. And here you have got something called constraint here. So just let me go to the previous table that we created. So here also we got constraint, but nothing has got created here. We have defined this table with emp underscore, sorry, not null. Na? Let's go to not null. Not null table. In this you have constraint, click on this. You don't have, even though you created this constraint, you don't have anything created here, right? Constraint. But if you go to this table, check constraint, emp underscore check underscore this constraint. So you see here, it is given as null. Okay. We created constraint, right? So if you see here, we created this constraint here. Let me minimize this, then you will figure out. So we created this constraint, right? So we created this constraint, this sal and constraint, name of the constraint, right? We told Sally should be greater than 5,000, but here still you have null. And go to this constraints folder. So you see this constraint as good. So we created this name constraint, right? That constraint name is present in constraints folder, right? Right now? Absolutely. Right. So now, right. Similarly, let's go and check select start from sys dot check constraints. We have created this constraint here. So that constraint is available here. Now try to execute this. Did you see this? This constraint has got object, but this constraint is available on parent object, right? Na? What is this parent object? So if you go to this, select start from system.tables here and execute this. So here you've got this check constraint table. What is the object of this? 7255777623, right? So I'll just filter where name is equal to emp underscore check underscore constraint. You have to know all this. Now try to execute here. Did you see this? So this check constraint So you got this check constraint, this has got object. But where is this check constraint defined? This is defined on other table. That table is this, on this table. So you have this object, right? This object is referred as a parent object here because this object has got ID. On this table, you have defined the constraint. So that whenever you create that constraint, it has got object. But this is defined on the parent. So it has taken this parent object, and you see the type underscore description is check constraint. Now you go here definition here. Salary should be greater than 5,000, right? Na? Right? Absolutely. Right. Now it would be little hard to understand now, but just try to do the way I've told, it will be easy. So you need to check that only. If you don't know what has created, what constraints are created on the table, go to the table, system table, you create go provide the table name and go to this constraint. So here I've got, so you can see here, I will take this object ID. Take this object ID. I'll go here, parent underscore object is equal to this. Sorry, let me 7255577623. You got, na? Right? This is how you need to go. Right. Now we created this constraint. Let's go and insert a value and see. Insert into emp underscore check constraint, that is table name, values, 1 comma name, 1 comma. So I'll give some 5001 because the salary should be greater than 5,000, 5001. Then department number. Similarly, I'll take this. I'll insert 5,000 here. Now take this insert statement, insert here, right? So 5001, that is okay. Now you go for 5,000 here. Now try to execute this. What is this? The insert statement conflict with the check constraint. It has given the name of the constraint also, right? This is the name and here name is matching. So we are defined the constraint name and here you see the conflict occurred, right? On that particular table, database, table name, column, right? So this is how you need to do. So you have defined, and I've shown you how to go and check in the system tables and constraints also. And here also you can see that constraint getting created in this folder under constraint folder. For not null, we don't have constraint created and we don't have a system table to check also. Right now? Yes. Now let's go to the other one. Take this. So I'll paste it here. Now what we'll do? So we'll go with the default constraint. Okay. Right. Let's go. Default constraint here. So what I'll do here, I'll provide city, some varchar 20 here. I'm adding a new column here, right? I'm adding a new column city. So default Hyderabad. What does that mean, default Hyderabad? If user submits a value to that city, that value will be taken. Remember here, if user provides value to city column, that value will be taken. If user doesn't provide value to city column, then default value Hyderabad will be taken. will be taken. Okay. So this is how it happens. So if user provides value to that city column, that value will be taken. If it doesn't provide a value to city column, then Hyderabad will be taken. Right. Let's go and work on that. Right. Let's go. Insert into EMP default constraint, right? Values. So I will provide all the values here. 1 comma name 1 1000 10 year. Then I'll provide something Warangal. Okay. Then the next one. This is okay because we have 5 columns we have provided. Now insert into EMP default underscore constraint. So I'll define the column is ID comma name comma sal comma department number. I'm not providing value here for city. So to name 2, right? 2020 year. ठीक है ना? So I'm not providing the city column, city value in this statement, right? Now let's see insert into EMP underscore default values. So year 3, name 3, 3030 department. Here I'll go with default as a keyword. In the first statement, what I've done, I have provided all values. I provide values to each and every column. That is absolutely fine. Here in this statement, I'm not providing value. So system will take a default value from this. Here I'm providing all values, but I'm using keyword called default to take from that constraint. Right now? Right. Now let's go. Let me insert the here. So here, what is that happening? Invalid object name default underscore constraint. What did I do? Invalid object name. Acha, I think we have not created table. Let's go and did we create? Let's see. Yes. So we not created a table and we are trying to create this constraint, right? This constraint. Already object already present here. So if you see here, go to this select start from sys dot check constraint. Execute here. So you have the name of the constraint, right? EMP underscore sal underscore check underscore EMP underscore scal underscore check constraint. And again, I'm creating, so this constraint is already there. And again, I'm creating an object table with the same constraint name. Will that allow? It will not allow because this is already present. So you can't now what is being told is the constraint name which is already used in other table, you can't create with the same name. You can't create a duplicate constraint with the same name, right? So I'll make this as 1. Okay, here also we can say constraint EMP underscore city underscore default, right? So constraint, name of the constraint and type of the constraint. Now try to execute this. Table got created, right? So I've changed the name of the constraint here, then it worked out. Now go to the tables here, just go and refresh this. Okay, default constraint, click on this, go to columns here, city, null. Now go to constraints here. So did you check this constraint name for check for default, right? Now if you go here, we'll have default constraint also. I think we should have it, right? Now try to execute here. We'll get the name of the constraint of default and object ID of this constraint. But this constraint is created on parent object, that parent on the table, that is parent object type is default. And what is the definition? Hyderabad. If at all you don't provide default, this will take either as Hyderabad. Now let's go here. Right. Here I'm creating an insert statement with all the values. Absolutely will work. What did I do? Conflicted with, did I change the table name? Yeah, I'm providing this. Okay, let me execute this. Why this insert statement conflicted occurred table sal. Okay, yes. So we are this sal constraint, right? This sal constraint is having greater than 5,000, but I'm inserting 1,000 only. Let me go and insert 5,001 here. This also I'll make as 5,002 because that is not allowing you to take, because we have defined the salary constraint 5,003 here. Okay. Right now, let me insert this statement here. One row affected. Now go to this, right? So now I'm not providing value for that city, right? Na? I have not provided. Now let me execute this default, right? Na? Now I have not provided a value for this two. I have not, and I've told you it as default. So let's go and take that. Okay. Right. Take this table name. Select start from. Now try to execute this statement, select statement. Did you see this has got Hyderabad, this has got Hyderabad. Even though here I've taken only four columns, I've not taken the city column here, right? So that has got Hyderabad. Now I've taken all the columns, but the city column I have provided as default here. So this has got Hyderabad, right? Na? Right? This is how happened. So I've told you how this default constraint is working, and you can see here also. So everything is getting recorded in the system tables, whatever you are trying to do it, right? Yes. Now let's go with the other one. So we spoke about default constraint, check constraint, and not null. Let's go and work with unique constraint. Okay, right. So what does unique constraint do here? Unique constraint. So here unique constraint will allow only unique values. Means it doesn't allow duplicate values, and it allows only one null value. So see here, you by name, when you say unique, then it is unique value. So it doesn't allow the same value for multiple times. And when you say duplicate, so duplicate values are not allowed. When you say null, only one null value is allowed in the table. You can default only one null value. Okay, right. Let's go create table emp underscore unique id int constraint emp underscore id underscore unique is the name of the constraint. Type is unique here. Okay. Name varchar 30 sal decimal 18 comma 2 department integer. ठीक है ना? So you got id as int, name as varchar, sally decimal, right? Now I'll try to execute here. So just go to the particular table. Just refresh the table here. Unique. Go to that columns. Still it is showing as null value, right? Because we are not defined as not null. That is the reason. And go to this constraints here. So still it is not showing for unique also. Go to this keys here, right? That unique constraint is getting created in keys, not in the constraints. Did you see that there is a key symbol down up, upside down, right? Right. Now let's go there. Now let's go and insert. Insert into EMP underscore unique values 1 comma name 1000 year 10. Insert into EMP underscore unique, right? So go and insert one more time one value as 1. Let's see whether it is going to allow or not. Name 2020 year. Insert into EMP unique. So I'll go here null name, that is in bracket name 3030 year. I'll insert one more record. Insert into EMP unique values null name 4010 year. Okay. So now I'll go with the first record. So this will insert. Now let's go with the second record. So one is already there. I'm inserting again one value. So this is unique, right? So I'm inserting a duplicate value. So violation of unique key constraint, right? That is a constraint. Cannot insert duplicate key in the object, right? Right. Now next go to the third one. So as I told you, one null value. Let's go and insert one null value affected, right? Now let's go here. Now go to the fourth record null value. Now try to execute here. So you can see it is violating that you can't insert null value, right? Now, so I've showed you all the things that it doesn't allow duplicate. So I've told you inserting duplicate. I told you one null value will allowed. Yes, we have showed you, but I've tried to insert null value again. Now just go and select the data to verify. EMP underscore unique here. Now try to execute here. You see here. One is one record and null value. Right now? Right? So this is how we have seen. I've showed you the constraint also. It has got different constraint here. So let me go to unique constraint here. System dot unique. Yeah, go to this key constraints. Now try to execute here. Right? So in the primary key constraint will be shown here. That is unique key constraint. You see the unique key constraint object on what object you have created. Okay, this is how it works. So these are about the constraint. Okay, go to this. So we are left over with primary key and foreign key constraint. So we'll see these two. These two are used mainly for creating a relationship between these tables. The primary key constraint and unique key constraint, sorry, primary key and foreign key constraints are used to create relationships between tables. Okay. So like parent table is primary. You will on parent table define the primary key. On child table, you define foreign key. Okay. So this is how you do it. So how is that? How do you do? For what purpose you do is? So just here, we'll just go to Excel here. So you'll have country table here, country table, country ID, country name. Okay. You have state ID, state name. Okay. So here what happens? You will have one more column called country ID here. Okay. I'll tell you what is that. Now here you'll have city, city ID and city name, state ID. Okay. Right now. So this is primary key. This is also primary key. This is also primary key. And here this one would be foreign key. Let me go and go with violet. Let me go with yellow color. So this is not able to see again. Let me go here. Let me do it with some other color. Blue color. Absolutely. Let's go. Right now. So the country ID is getting referred here in state table and state ID is referred in here. So you assume like it is one India. So here you'll have one, sorry, what is this? Okay. So you have AP. So you have Telangana. You have Maharashtra. Okay. Like you have Tamil Nadu. You have Karnataka. Right now you have. So these are part of India only, right? So I'll give, because these states, I'll give one like this. Right now. Now I'll go city one, 2 year, 3 year. So let's go to Hyderabad. So Hyderabad is in Telangana. So this Telangana is referred as two, right? Two is referred here. Now Secunderabad, 2 year. Then Warangal, two, right? Right now. So you see this country table has got ID, India country name, but state name has got states and its reference of the country. We are given this reference of ID year, not the name, and year, city, and state reference we are given. So you can easily find, right? So Hyderabad is referring to state 2. Go to this state table and see what is 2 here. Telangana. Now see this Telangana 2. Telangana is referring to country 1. Go to here and see 1. India. So this is all perfectly right. So this is how you're creating the relationship between the tables here. So this country ID. So here country ID has got primary key. But instead you got primary key here. State ID has got primary key and country ID has got foreign key. In a single table, you can have one primary key and multiple foreign keys. Okay, like this. So you see a country, city, and state. So this is how you're creating the relation between. How do you create? And the next thing is, whatever the value that you have here in the country, those values should be allowed here. Okay, we'll talk. So we'll talk on that tomorrow in detail. So this is how you create the relationship between the tables. This is how you create relationship between the tables here. This is how. Okay. This is how you create the relationship between the tables. Okay. This is how you going ahead. You will create the relationship between the tables here. Okay. Let's talk tomorrow. We'll talk on this and we'll talk on the alter statement also. Alter statement. So this is what you do is you can create new column on the existing table. You can drop the existing column of a table. Okay. You can increase or decrease the size of the column. You can change the data type of a column. Okay. This is all you can do it. And you can add the constraint on the existing column, existing table. You can drop the constraint on the existing table. So this is all you can do it. That is how you do this alter statement. So once the table is created, you need to go and add the column. How do you do? You are going to drop the table and create again table? No. If the column is created, but you want to drop it, you want to change the data type of a column. If you have created a data type, but you want to increase the size of that. So example, you have created with varchar 30. Now you want to increase to varchar 100. How you are going to do it? So these all you can do it on alter statement. Okay? We'll talk on this tomorrow on the alter statement and alter statement, primary key constraint and foreign key constraint. We'll work on that tomorrow. Okay? Right. Any doubts here before we wind up for the day? Any doubt? So tomorrow is Saturday, but we'll have session. You know, na? We generally don't have on we generally don't have session on Sunday and Monday. So tomorrow is Saturday, we'll have session. Okay, good to close.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you guys.